Hello guys, and welcome back to another episode in this GitHub series. In the previous video we talked about the synchronization between the local Git repository and the remote one on GitHub. If you didn't watch the video, I encourage you to do so by clicking right now on the link that will appear on the top right corner. In this video I will be talking about branching. So I will show you why is it important and how to implement it while working in Git. So without any further ado, let's get started. So what is Git branching and why is it important? So I mentioned this briefly in the second video in this series, if you remember. So you can feel free to go back and watch that part again at the end of the second video. But I still have the diagram here with me, so let's refresh your memory about it. So if you remember, when we first created our repository, it was created with the main or the master branch. And this was tracking the progress of your project using milestones that we called commit on this branch. Now, imagine, for example, that you want to do something on the side, okay, without corrupting or interfering with the progress of your project in the main branch. This is where the concept of branching comes in handy. So branching means that you are going to create a copy of your project at a certain milestone that you have achieved, and then work on this, and this branch will allow you to work on this copy of the project in parallel without interrupting your work on the main branch. And this can be useful, for example, if you want to solve a bug on the side. So I showed you in this diagram in here that we have created a copy of the progress of our project at this node that we called commit. And then we started the debugging process on the side. And then at the end, once we are done with this debugging task, we merged back again to the main branch. Now, this can be important as well if you want to add a feature without breaking the main as well. And also if you want to collaborate with other teammates without having conflicts. So for example, imagine you are working with a group of developers, and normally you would assign a task for each developer, okay? So in this case, ideally each teammate will create a branch for their own development, and at the end, so you will work in parallel. Every single person will be working on a separate branch of their own, and then at the end you will communicate and coordinate a merge process to go back to main again at the end of the job. So this is important. Branching is really handy in such scenarios. Now we understand what is the importance of branching. Let's go ahead and implement it in our repository. So if you remember, we created before the famous my first repo on GitHub. So if you remember, we have included the .ignore, the license, and the README file, and I have included the Python scripts for the first and the last name. I have in here the first name. I don't know at what point was I the last time, but we're gonna need only this Python file. We don't need more than this. So if you remember, this is to refresh your memory as well, we can copy this HTTPS code and then I'm gonna open a terminal and clone this repository on my system. So git clone, and here we go. Now we have the repository. In here we can open it and we can see all the files, and especially this guy in here. Now if I open a terminal inside the repository, very important. Now if I want to list the branches that I have right now on my repository, I can simply use git branch, and this will show me all the available branches. Right now we have main because we didn't create anything any new branch after creating the repository. So as I mentioned before, the default first branch will be main, as we can see in here. And the star, by the way, indicates which branch are you on right now. So right now we are on main. Now let's say we want to create a new branch. The way to do it is to call git branch and then specify the name that you want. For example, imagining I'm assigning a task to a developer in the team. So here I have git branch task 1. I'm gonna call it task 1. Right now, if I list my branches again, you will see that you have main and task 1 and you are still currently on main. So how to switch to a different branch? You have two methods. You have the checkout, git a checkout, and then you specify the branch that you want to switch to. And here it's gonna be task 1. As you can see, we have the feedback, switch to branch task 1. If I list the branches again, you will see that right now the asterisk or the star symbol is behind task 1. Another way to do it is to use a switch. Let's say I want to switch back to main. You can use git switch main. And as you can see, I am on the main branch right now. Now, I'm gonna open this repository in VS Code. And by the way, you will notice that VS Code has its own interface to handle Git version control. But I'm not gonna talk about it in this series because I wanted to discuss all the commands in the terminal, because this doesn't change, okay? This is the base and the fundamental GitHub principles or Git principles are common, okay? They are all the same in the terminal, but things might change when you use different interfaces or different IDEs. So unless there's a demand on it, I'm not gonna create a video about that. But feel free to write down in the comments if you want me to create a video about Git in VS Code. So right now, if I open the file called first name script, you will see that it's printing hello first name, that is getting from the user, and then welcome to Python programming. So right now I'm in the main branch and it's specified in here, or you can see it in the terminal. But let's say that I want to check out the task 1 branch. And my objective in here is to show you that if I apply a certain change or modification on the task 1 branch, it won't be applied on main. So all the work that I'm doing on the task 1 branch will be isolated from main. So let's show you this. So right now I'm on task 1 and you can see it in VS Code in here at the bottom as well. So let's say that I have modified this greeting to good morning. All right. So right now I'm gonna create a commit. So first we need to add the modification so that it becomes stacked. If you forgot about this, please refer to the previous videos in the series to refresh your memory. So git add dot, and then we can create the commit using git commit m, and then we specify a message, for example, modified greetings, and then we apply the commit. Right now, if I check out main, so notice right now my modification was applied on the task1 branch. If I check out main again, you will see that the modification was reverted and we came back to hello. So this shows you that the modifications applied on the different branches are independent, and this is the power of branching. So right now, if we want to just like verify what's going on using the git log, you okay, because I'm on main, let's do git check out task1 where we apply the modification, and then let's see git log. So what you will see is the following. So I have some commits that were applied on the local main branch, and we can see that in here in the green. And also they were pushed to the remote repository before I started recording this video. So you can see that you have origin main as well in red. But after that, the modification that I applied in here, or the commit that I applied in here right now, was modified greetings, and it's only locally, you can see it in green, on the local task1 branch. So it's not on the main local, and it's not even pushed to the remote as well. Now, typically what happens is that after a developer gets done with the work on the branch, so let's say the task1 is finished, typically what happens is that they will merge the branch, the task1 branch that they created, back into main, so that we can continue in a clean manner the progress of our project. So this is what I'm going to do right now. So first, make sure to check out the branch to which the merge will happen. So in this case, it's gonna be our main branch. And after that, you have to use the command git merge, and then you specify the name task1. And right now what will happen is that the modifications or the commits implemented in task1 will get transferred into main as well, because we will merge the two branches. So right now the merge happened. If I want to verify the commit history using git log while I'm on the main branch, you will see that the modification is in here. So before, the commit modified greetings was only on task1. Right now it's on both main and task1. So we achieved what we intended. So right now you know how to create a branch locally on your system and how to handle it. Now I'm gonna show you how to create a new branch on the remote GitHub repository. And there are two ways to do this. You can either use the browser or the terminal. So let's start with the browser. you can use any browser of your choice and head to the home page of your repository, and here you can click on the branch word and it will take you to this page. You can press on the new branch button, and here you can give the name to your new branch, and you can specify the source. The source is the starting point from which the branch will be emerged. Okay, so in this case it's main. This means that task 1 branch will start with an up-to-date version of your project work from the main branch. Okay, and you can hit create and you can see it in here. If you want to delete that branch, you can just press on this button, make sure to refresh your page, and it's not there anymore. Now, why is this important? Because let's say right now we have modified the greetings on the local task 1 branch, and we want to create a backup on the remote repository until we finish our work and we merge back into main. We cannot risk to keep everything locally. So typically what happens is that Git will search for an equivalent for your locally created branch on the remote repository when you do the push of the local modifications. So in this case, I have to create a task 1 branch on the remote repository so that I will be able to push my local task 1 branch to the remote one. But Git is a bit smart, so I'm gonna show you what will happen if we attempt to do the push even if I don't have the task 1 branch created in here. So let's say that right now, so if you remember, I have deleted the task 1 branch. So let's create another one. So get the branch task 1. I'm gonna create it again, or let's call it task 2. And then we're gonna check out task 2. And then once we are here, let's apply some modifications. So let's say good afternoon. I'm gonna add these modifications and I'm going to create a new commit. Let's call it afternoon commit. Once we do this, let's attempt to push these modifications from the task 2 branch before merging with main. So git push, it will be on origin, which means the remote repository, and then I'm gonna specify task 2. So right now task 2 doesn't exist on my remote repository, if you remember. So let's see what will happen in this case. So I'm asked to enter my credentials. So make sure to use the token that you have generated the previous time, if you remember. If you don't, make sure to watch my previous video about the classic tokens. I'm gonna copy and paste. So as you can see, Git was successful in pushing my modifications on the locally created branch called task 2. And if we check the repository using our browser page, make sure to refresh the page, you can see that task 2 was automatically created. So luckily, GitHub is smart. If you forget to create the branch, the new branch, with the same name as the local one, GitHub will do that for you, okay? So right now my work is on task 2, that's a branch that is created locally and also remotely, waiting until we finish from this task to merge back to main. Now, I just want to give you some general tips and some recap to what we had covered in this video. So first of all, make sure to use descriptive names when you create new branches. This is really important so that you understand what was the purpose of this branch, okay? And also try to create branches from main, okay? So the source, try to keep it main and avoid like nested branches because this will make things messy, all right? And always try to create small tasks, small and manageable tasks for each branch, so that you can finish these tasks as soon as possible and then directly merge back into main and delete this branch and keep things clean. And I wanted to give you just like one note. Normally the merge process doesn't happen from the created branch back to main directly. If you are part of a company or you are working in a professional environment, also if you are working in a group and you want to keep things really organized, normally people use pull request. And this means that the modifications on this branch that was created need to be reviewed before deciding whether to merge these modifications back into main or not. I'm gonna discuss this in details in later videos, so don't worry about it, but I just wanted to put it out there. And finally, I would like to recommend a Git software if you are into visualization. So right now we were using the terminal and we were checking everything using Git log. But if you are more into visualization of the branches and the progress of your work, I advise you to check out Git Kraken. So Git Kraken is a Git software that provides very nice visualizations. I used it before. I encourage you to give it a shot. Maybe you will like it. So it will show you the different branches and which team member has created the branch and is performing some work on it. And yeah, this might be better to keep a track of the project work for some of you. So I'm gonna include the download link for Git Kraken in the description down below. Feel free to check it out. So that's pretty much it for this video. In the next video, I'm gonna discuss the most feared thing in Git, which is merge conflicts. So I'm gonna discuss what are they, and I'm gonna show you how to solve them quickly and effectively so you won't have to worry about them anymore. So stay tuned and keep an eye on your notification. And if you liked this video and found it useful, as usual, please hit the like button and do not forget to subscribe to support this channel and allow me to reach more robotics and software development enthusiasts as possible. So with that, I bid you farewell and I wish you a good one.